I've been fascinated with flying for over 10 years now, and during that time, flying the double-decker Airbus A380 and exploring Fifth Freedom routes have been high on my bucket list. Growing up in the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi, there were no regular A380 services, and I didn't have the chance to try them elsewhere. However, I've had the opportunity to try two Fifth Freedom flights in Southeast Asia. In 2018, I first flew with Qatar Airways on the 777-300ER from Hanoi to Bangkok, Thailand, and another time with Dutch national carrier KLM from Jakarta, Indonesia to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. A Fifth Freedom flight is a route where an airline from one country is allowed to operate flights between two other countries, as long as the flight either begins or ends in its home country. One example of such a flight is Qantas Sydney to London via Singapore service, with the Singapore to London being the Fifth Freedom segment, as the Australian airline is able to sell tickets for passengers only flying between Singapore and the UK. Fifth Freedom flights often benefit both the business and the consumer. For passengers, especially aviation enthusiasts like me, these flights can offer unique experiences at prices lower than those provided by local airlines. For airlines, operating these additional flights increases aircraft utilization and potential revenue from high-demand routes. After over 5 years, in November 2023, I flew another Fifth Freedom flight, this time traveling from Christchurch, New Zealand to Sydney, Australia, with Emirates, an airline based in Dubai. And with this flight operated by the Airbus A380, it seems like I finally have achieved two things in my bucket list. Hello viewers and welcome to another flight review. I've just spent 6 wonderful days in New Zealand, traveling across the country on a famous Northern Explorer train to witness the stunning natural beauty here. Today, I'm flying back to Melbourne with a rather unique itinerary. Instead of taking Jetstar, Qantas or Air New Zealand, I've decided to fly on Emirates' Fifth Freedom flight to Sydney and connect to a Qantas A330 to Melbourne. Or at least that's what the reservation said. I managed to book this flight in business class for 657 New Zealand dollars, or about 611 Australian dollars. Since local carriers Qantas and Air New Zealand typically charge around $900 non-stop, being able to book a business class seat on an Emirates A380 and an additional Qantas domestic flight for $300 less sounds like an absolute win. The check-in process was smooth and the staff provided me with 2 boarding passes, one for Christchurch to Sydney and another for Sydney to Melbourne. This meant I didn't have to check in for the second flight, and I soon headed to security. I couldn't film that part, but I was selected at random for security swabbing. I watched a lot of Australia's border security episodes, so I was really nervous, but the staff didn't find anything except my love for New Zealand. Christchurch International Airport is New Zealand's second busiest airport, serving as the primary gateway to the South Island. In the 2024 financial year, it handled approximately 6.25 million passengers. The airport features 2 runways, with the main one being 3,288 meters long. CHC offers direct flights to 15 domestic and 9 international destinations, connecting travelers to major cities such as Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Singapore, and Nadi in Fiji. In the upcoming summer season, the airport will be served by United Airlines from San Francisco, Cathay Pacific from Hong Kong, and China Southern Airlines from Guangzhou. Since traveling in business class, I have access to the airport's Manaia Lounge. This lounge, also managed by the Plaza Premium Lounge Group, is located opposite of Gate 29. The lounge is accessible to passengers flying with Emirates, Qantas, Jetstar, Fiji Airways, China Southern, and Cathay Pacific. Travelers with Priority Pass, Dragon Pass, or eligible credit cards can gain entry. Walk-in access is also available for a fee. Designed with a modern aesthetic, the lounge features various seating zones tailored for relaxation, work, or dining. Amenities include complimentary Wi-Fi, a selection of hot and cold dishes, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, and access to newspapers and magazines. Shower facilities are available for a fee, offering a chance to refresh before your flight. I decided to grab some salads and sandwiches just for refreshment. And here it is. After years from watching afar, It's finally time to fly on Emirates. The aircraft, which arrived today from Sydney, is a 5-year-old Airbus A380 featuring 14 first class, 76 business class, 56 premium economy, and 338 economy seats. My seat today is 16K, located in business class, which has been refurbished based on the Saffron Sky Lounge design. Each seat converts to a 79-inch long, fully flat bed and is equipped with an adjustable headrest, footrest, and lumbar support. The seat also features a shelf stocked with drinks. In the seat, you can find an universal 110-volt AC power outlet, 2 USB-A sockets, and a reading light. Additionally, Emirates business class seats feature a detachable tablet for controlling the IFE system and seat functions. A smaller, dedicated remote control with shortcuts for volume, lighting, and call bell is also available. Flight attendants also distributed headphones, hot towels, and a really warm blanket. On the A380's upper deck, there is a compartment under the windows for additional storage. I decided to have some apple juice as a welcome drink. After taking off from Christchurch, I began looking at Emirates' in-flight entertainment system, or ICE, right away to best utilize the 3 hours I had on the flight. Business class seats feature a static 18-inch HD touchscreen display. Having watched dozens of flight reviews on YouTube, I noticed almost every creator claimed that Emirates has one of the world's best in-flight entertainment programs. Now that I've seen it in person, I absolutely agree with them. The system offers access to over 6,500 channels, including a vast selection of movies, TV shows, podcasts, games. However, what I'm most interested in are the unique moving maps and the external camera views. Consistently recognized for its excellence, the ICE has earned multiple awards, including the Best In-Flight Entertainment title at the Airline Ratings 2024 Airline Excellence Awards. The flight was relatively empty, with only around 10 to 15 passengers in business class, allowing for superfast service. Soon after reaching cruising altitude, the crew handed out a bowl of nuts and a glass of martini, and then, around 30 minutes later, an early dinner was served. For the main course, I decided to go for the Chinese-style braised chicken, but the crew informed me that they had run out of chicken and thus asked to replace with the seared barramundi instead. Overall, the meal looks like this. We begin with an appetizer, which is salmon tataki served with red radish, cucumber, toasted sesame seeds, furikake, and soy dressing featuring ginger and lemon. The main course includes a seared barramundi served with steamed jasmine rice, choy sum, and baby corn. Lastly, for dessert, I opted for a chocolate feuilletine served with caramel sauce and some fresh fruit. Bread and butter are also included, and this time I just went for some spring water. I was really happy with the flavor and portion size of the 3 courses. However, I recommend adding carrots or mushrooms to the main dish to further improve its appearance. After finishing my meal, I tried the seats recline to imagine what it would be like to fly on this product long haul. With a bed length of 2 meters or 79 inches, I had an abundance of space to stretch my legs. It is worth noting that window and aisle seats that are directly adjacent to the aisle, i.e. the B, D, G, and J seats, have 23 centimeters or 9 inches less in pitch and bed length compared to the A, E, F, and K seats. Anyway, now it's time to explore the bathroom. The business class bathroom feels spacious and thoughtfully designed. You will even find premium amenities from Bulgari, including refreshing facial mist and cologne. I love the elegant wood accents and soft lighting that really elevate the experience. Hopefully, I will be able to access their onboard showers in the future. I also went downstairs to try out their economy seats. Emirates Saffron Z400 economy seats are configured in a 3-4-3 setting, and even on this short to medium haul flight, a pillow, blanket, and headphones were provided. The seats feature adjustable headrests, a foldable footrest on most rows, a 13.3-inch HD screen, and a detachable console for screen control. Passengers also get a USB port and in-seat power to keep devices charged. The tray table is huge, and the seat provides generous legroom, given its pitch of 81 centimeters or 32 inches. Overall, I think that the Emirates A380s have one of the best economy class seats in the world. I lost footage of the bar, so I will now show the incoming passenger card instead. If you've been on an international flight coming to Australia, you may have noticed all the screens streaming a 2-minute 19-second video made by the Australian government, which explains what products you must declare. Most passengers arriving in the country, including those for tourism, business, or other purposes, are required to complete the card. Shortly after, the flight began its descent to land in Sydney, and all passengers would disembark with their carry-on luggage, including those continuing on to Dubai. They would be taken to a separate passage and reboard for the second leg 2 hours later. To wrap it up, this Emirates A380 Fifth Freedom flight from Christchurch to Sydney was nothing short of exceptional. From a smooth check-in and access to the Manaia Lounge, to stepping on board one of the world's most iconic aircraft, the experience felt premium from start to finish. The business class seat was spacious, offered excellent storage and tech features. The in-flight service was fast and attentive, with a 3-course meal that didn't disappoint, even with a last-minute swap to seared barramundi. Emirates' in-flight entertainment system truly lives up to the hype, and even a quick visit to economy revealed how much effort they put into every cabin. For 600 Australian dollars, this flight felt like incredible value, letting me enjoy long-haul luxury on a short trans-Tasman hop. If you ever get the chance, this route is absolutely worth trying. Before connecting to the Qantas domestic flight to Melbourne, I headed to the baggage claim area to retrieve my checked luggage. Since I already had the boarding pass for the second flight in Christchurch, I didn't have to check in again for the second flight. I followed the signs to the domestic transfer for Qantas, and a bus was taking me to Terminal 3, where Qantas operates its domestic flights. I had one of the shortest connections ever, arriving at the gate just 10 minutes before boarding commenced. I realized that Qantas had changed the operating aircraft to a Boeing 737, which had 12 Recaro seats arranged in a 2-2 configuration. The seat features a swing-out leg rest and footrest, as well as a retractable bifolding table. Despite not being able to fly on the A330, Qantas 737s feature IFE screens and onboard Wi-Fi, so I was able to send text messages. As it was a relatively late flight, The crew served a slice of bread, accompanied by a selection of cheese, fruit, and nuts. It was a short flight, and I landed in Melbourne around 11:30 p.m, concluding my extraordinary trip to New Zealand. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.